This is beyond imaginable for any normal human being out there. It's a horrific, horrifying, traumatizing event that still haunts us today. This won't bring back Belinda, our dear mother, but it will give us justice for our dear mother and my family.
So much has been missed for her and us, with memories, the additional grandchildren that have been born and great-grandchildren now. We want justice for Mom. That's what this cry is for.
The Redford police were called Botsford Hospital, and we were told that there was a female victim there that had been stabbed and that she was dropped off by a male who was believed to be her husband or ex-husband. Officers spoke to Paul, who ended up being her ex-husband of 7 years, who said that they were at a stoplight at 5 Mile and Telegraph in Redford. They were approached by one or two black males. The story did change. The males were trying to get Belinda's purse at knife point. During the struggle for the purse, Paul says that she was stabbed one time in the chest. She was pronounced deceased at the hospital.
The victim was identified as Belinda Gardella. The Michigan mother of 6 was 44 years old when she was stabbed to death on September 25th, 1983.
The biggest point about that day is Jan, Al, and Ron all said that she hugged them and repeated, "I love you. I really, really love you," but hugged like she never had hugged them prior.
No one has been arrested or charged with Belinda's murder, and a murder weapon was never found. But Belinda's children say they believe their father, Paul Gardella, was responsible.
I looked in her bedroom and I knew in my heart my mother was dead. And I told her, "Don't go out with him, he's gonna kill you."
And my instant reaction was she with him? I had told her he was going to kill her. "Mom, you gotta get away from him. He is going to kill you."
Mom was always there, strong, to protect her children. She nurtures us. She sacrificed so much to bring her 6 young children into this world.
She took us to all our events there and made sure we had food. Of course, we love her and we missed her. And I know she would have been great with all the grandkids and all the children. She would be the best person around.
Belinda married Paul Gardella in 1958, and they had 6 children. The couple divorced in 1977. While Paul was never convicted of domestic violence, Belinda's children say he subjected them and their mother to abuse.
There was just so much that you didn't talk about what was happening at home to anybody, any of your friends, anybody else. You didn't talk about it. All of us lived in absolute fear of him our entire lives.
The cooking utensils were used as weapons, and he threw these at Mom and some of his kids, even with them being warm or hot.
Yeah, he didn't like chicken. One time my mom made like 3 chickens, roasted chickens. He took it outside and dumped it on the ground for the dogs to eat.
The family said that after the divorce, Belinda stayed in contact with Paul and they worried for her safety. Eugene Gardella recalls seeing the two of them together in the summer of 1983.
Father's Day, Paul was there in Livonia, where Belinda was staying at. I saw them both standing at the side of the garage, and I'm like, why is this even happening? And he saw me, he says, "You stay out of this, it's none of your business, get the F out of here." While he's holding Mom's arm real hard, clutching him. And Mom's there, "Just leave, Eugene, just leave."
Please leave your message for...
With cold cases, we don't reopen them unless there's new evidence that we can actually take to court. There wasn't even really in this case. Typically, this wasn't something that we would really reopen. The reason I did it is because I feel very strongly that he did it. And I'm on the family side with, I think it's kind of ridiculous that it's gone on this long.
Detective Sergeant Adam Kubrick, who we interviewed off camera, reopened the case in 2023. Kubrick said he traveled to Florida to speak with Paul in August of 2025.
His first response was, "I can't help." And then he went into talking about all these lives that he saved since this happened. That's not a confession, but there are odd statements that you don't really expect.
Kubrick said that during the conversation, Paul said he was not guilty of, quote, whatever it is.
And then at one point he did ask for a lawyer, and pretty much that's when you got to stop. He has not reached out. A lawyer has not reached out. That's where we're at.
On September 25th, 1983, Paul told police that he was driving northbound on Telegraph in Redford Township and stopped at a light at 5 Mile Road when one or two black men allegedly opened the passenger door and tried to take Belinda's purse, stabbing her in the chest. But Kubrick said investigators did not find evidence pointing to the alleged suspects.
And they were eliminated as possible suspects just because it wasn't logical that this actually happened this way. They checked for fingerprints and all that outside the car. The only fingerprints that were there was from a security officer at the hospital and Paul.
Investigators noted that although Paul reported seeing at least one black man opening the door, he actually told a social worker and another officer that 2 men attempted to open the door but were unsuccessful. Paul also told police that he turned left onto Grand River and stopped at a McDonald's to ask for directions to the nearest hospital. But the police report noted that he would have bypassed numerous businesses before getting to that restaurant.
They never even got the purse. That's the biggest thing. When you step outside of it and kind of look outside the box logically, his story makes no sense.
Investigators in 1983 also found that on April 25th, exactly 5 months before Belinda's murder, Michigan State Police responded to a home in Marine City, roughly 50 miles northeast of Detroit. According to the report, Paul Gardella allegedly, quote, grabbed a large kitchen knife from the kitchen sink and threatened his ex-wife. An incident report from state police showed that Paul faced 2 felonious assault charges for not only assaulting Belinda, but one of their sons. The report showed that Paul and Belinda were divorced, but living together at the time. After the incident, Belinda told troopers that she had moved out.
That was the first, time that they really reported something, and they were actually going to follow through. They were about to go to trial for that, and she was murdered, and nothing ever happened after that.
The state police report showed that in 1984, Paul was found not guilty of one of the assault charges, while the other was dismissed.
I was working at what was then called Botsford Hospital. At that time, it was just a really small community hospital.
Nurse Elaine Hunter was one of several staff members who tended to Belinda's injuries back in 1983 at Botsford Hospital. Today, that hospital is now known as Coral Health, Farmington Hills.
A gentleman came in and said, I need help. There's a woman in my car that's been stabbed. And so I yelled for somebody to get a cart, and we went out to the car to get her out. We found out that he was her husband, which made us think it was kind of strange that he didn't say, my wife is in the car. He said, there's a woman in my car that's been stabbed.
Despite life-saving measures, Belinda was pronounced dead at about 10:47 p.m. Although she has since retired, Elaine Hunter says she will never forget that day in 1983.
I remember it because it was such a vivid thing, such a traumatic thing, that we just didn't get that kind of violent assault on someone at Botsford. I'm sorry that their mother died in such a horrific way, and I hope that they can get some justice for her and that will bring them some peace.
Today, the family says they are frustrated with the lack of criminal charges in the case and accuses local authorities and prosecutors of failing to thoroughly review it.
People didn't do their jobs. That's really what this case comes down to. People did not do their jobs, and hence we don't have justice.
We reached out to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office for comment. In an email statement to CBS News Detroit, the department said it reviewed warrant requests in 1983, 2001, and 2025, but determined that there was, quote, insufficient evidence to charge a criminal case, end quote. They confirmed that all 3 warrant requests were for the same suspect, but did not release that person's name. The family said they also sought the help of prosecutors in Oakland County because it's where Belinda was pronounced dead. But they said the department declined to move forward with the case because it was out of their jurisdiction. We reached out to the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office for comment, and we did not hear back.
We did absolutely everything we could back in 1983, and I've done everything I could today. Looking back, I don't think the detectives missed much. I think they did a very good job. I think the prosecutor's office just thinks this is not a winning case in court. I can disagree with it personally, but I don't do their job.
Kubrick said he submitted the case to the Michigan Attorney General's office in November 2025. As of January 2026, the case remained under review of state prosecutors. For Belinda's children, they're hoping this justice will finally come.
This is our last shot at trying to get justice for Mom, because we can't get it at the county level. So now that it's moved to the state, it's under review, and this is it.
It needs to be advanced there because it's fallen through the cracks way too many times.
We've been hanging in there for over 42 years to discover this justice that we so need within the very cells of our being. And we've been turned down by the legal system. We miss those opportunities for any anniversaries, birthdays, holidays, Christmas. But she would have been proud and loved all of us for what we've done.